Crystal Allen Foster here, Law of Attraction, mindset coach, and author. I help people who constantly struggle with negative mindsets, beating themselves up, to work towards a more positive mindset and then take control of their lives. And today I want to talk about limiting beliefs. Now, a lot of us, want things in life. We see things that we like, and there we see things that we would like to do, but for some reason, we don't believe that we're able to do that. So that would be considered a limiting belief. Now, having a positive mindset is very important when you want to take control of your own life. If you don't believe that you have control of your life, or if you don't believe that good things can happen to you, then your belief obviously is that things that happen to you you don't have any control over, so why bother? So if you want to be more in control of your life, then you need to be more in control of your thoughts. And one of the things that you need to control are your limiting beliefs. But before, the first thing you have to do when it comes to limiting beliefs is to identify them. And a lot of people, don't even realize that they have these limiting beliefs. They actually, they think these things all the time, but it never occurs to them that it's something that they shouldn't be thinking, or that it is considered a limiting belief. Like, say, for instance, one limiting belief is that people who have money are bad people, or people who have money must have ripped someone off. I've heard so many people say that. And another thing I hear a lot of people say are, if someone's successful, they had to have sold their soul to get to that success. Those are limiting beliefs. So basically, you will never be able to accomplish anything unless you're willing to rip somebody off or sell your soul to get what you want. And that's not actually believing that you have control over your life. So, one way that you can actually identify your limiting beliefs are for you to actually think of something that you want, either object or something that you want to do, and then ask yourself, why not? Because when you ask yourself, why not, whatever answer you get is going to be your limiting belief revealed. And if you say, that you won't be able to buy the car that you want because you don't make enough money, or you will never make enough money, that's a limiting belief. Anything along that line would be considered a limiting belief. And you have to let these limiting beliefs go to get past this negative mindset so that you can start working towards the things that you want and the things that you want to do. So once you identify a limiting belief, then write it down. Now, you also have to realize that sometimes we have more than one limiting belief. Like, say, for instance, if you have a limiting belief about money and you think that rich people are all bad people, or you think that people who are rich know something that the rest of us don't, people who are rich are smarter than the rest of us, then you obviously have multiple limiting beliefs about making money. So you need to write anything that you could think of, any limiting beliefs that you could think of, write them down. And then you need to work on eliminating them. And one way to eliminate them is, number one, try and find out as much information as you can about your limiting belief. Do rich, find out, how do people make money? How do some rich people make money? How do, not all rich people, of course, you have good and bad in every category. So you do have some people who made money dishonestly, but you also have a lot of people who've made money honestly. Look at those people and see what things people like that have in common. And there are a lot of books out there that where they have identified, say, self-made millionaires, and they've interviewed them and found out that they tend to have a lot of things in common in the way they think. And there it's not as if some of the things they do are things that you're not able to do. Now, I remember one book that I read called The Miracle Morning. And in that book, he identified that a lot of self made millionaires admitted that they meditate in the morning, that they read every day, um, that they visualize every day. So there were a lot of things that they had in common. When you say read about these people and you read about, say, more than one, then you will see the similarities. Okay. So that you can get past the all these people are bad and rip someone off. Now, another thing you'll need to do is to actually say create something that will help you combat those thoughts. If you think that all rich people are bad, then start reading books about people that aren't bad, articles about people that aren't bad, look at interviews about people who are rich and are good. You know, we have a lot of wealthy people out here who contribute to a lot of different charities and are good at giving money to different organizations. So you can look at things like that to actually try and change your mind about the way you think. But you also need to combat it by coming up with, say, one thing is you could do affirmations that help you to realize that, or to help you to think about the opposite of what it is that you believe. So, for instance, if you don't believe that you can afford the car that you want because you'll never make enough money, then you have to write an affirmation that you are open to receiving whatever it is that you want to receive. Because being open to receiving is getting yourself ready to actually receive what it is that you want. And sometimes we don't think that these things are possible for us, but and that's why we're not really ready for it. But when you say you're open, you're saying to the yourself and to the world that or the universe that you're ready for it. um, and you need to constantly work on these affirmations that help you to believe, or not work on. You need to repeat these affirmations that can help you to believe that things like that are possible for you, just like they are possible for everyone else. Um, if you don't think that you can do something, ask yourself why. Why don't you think you could do it? Can you? Will you ever be able to write a book? No, I'm not smart enough to write a book. Is it really that you're not smart enough to write a book, or you just really don't know what the first step is? Well, there's plenty of material out there that'll tell you how you can go about writing your first book, getting it published, or publishing it yourself. There's so much information out there today that it's very difficult to say that it's hard to find information nowadays, especially with us all walking around with computers in our hand. But also, like, say, for instance, when you do have these affirmations and you do come up with these affirmations, you will need to make sure that you constantly speak them to yourself, out loud, or or think them whenever you have the opportunity. So you've been working on quote unquote negative statements most of your life, and you've actually worked on them until they were embedded in your mind. Now you have to work on the positive affirmations and positive statements until they're embedded in your mind. And a lot of times it's best to go over those things when you wake up in the morning. First, wake up in the morning, right before you go to bed, and in the middle of the day, when you have time to really think about it. If you have free time, you're not worried, thinking about anything else, think about your affirmations. The more you think about them, the better the chance that you'll embed them in your mind and help change your mindset. Once you change your mindset and you start to believe that you can do certain things, then you'll be able to take control over your life, and you won't constantly believe that things just happen to you and that you have no control of what happens. Because a lot of times we do have control over what happens, and a lot of times what stops us are our limiting beliefs. Now, follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and I have some links in the comments or in the description that are for free booklets that I have. I have a free mindset booklet and I have a free law of attraction booklet that you can download. Both booklets are about 7 or 8 pages long, so they're not long booklets, but they have a lot of good information that you could use. Have a great evening.